I have some updates for you, including the Newmar VIN case and some sad news from folks in my audience. Hi, I'm Liz. I'm an RV consumer advocate helping people stuck in a nightmare. I've been able to get factory repairs, extended warranties, and over $2 million refunded to customers. None of this would happen without you liking, subscribing, and sharing, making this channel the force that it is. Today, I have some sad news from folks in my audience, but first I wanted to share some updates with you. At nearly 1 million views, Jim and Susan's story was one of my most watched videos.
We're at a point where just give us our money back.
Jim and Susan paid over $130,000 for their Coachman Cross Trail, and something broke every time they used it. They had leaks, and then they noticed cracks in the fiberglass. The update is it went back to the factory for repairs, and Forest River gave them a cash settlement. Susan reports they are pleased with the repairs. Everything seems to be truly fixed. Jim and Susan are camping right now in Utah, and they thank me for my advocacy and for the outpouring of support from my audience, and want to thank everyone for helping make this a happy story. Lucas and his wife were the ones with the exploding toilet. They would use it once, maybe twice, and then they would have a disgusting mess.
When you flush it, like everywhere, all over the place.
They have a 2023 Heartland fifth wheel. They paid over $50,000 for it. At the time, the factory was refusing to take it back to fix that and other problems. Through my advocacy, Heartland, which is now part of Jayco, agreed to take it back to the factory for repairs. Lucas reports he now has his RV back, and they are very pleased with the repairs. He says, "I'm really happy with the craftsmanship at the repair facility." So yes, they've been out using it a couple times, and they're very pleased.
I paid $40,000 for a brand new camper. It's a piece of crap.
Nikki has written me several times thanking me for the happy outcome with her trailer. I mentioned in a previous video that she got a buyback and a full refund. I just want to pass along her thanks to you. She's thrilled. She's the one that had the leaky slide. She even had a board holding it up inside. So thank you, Optimum RV and Heartland, for taking care of Nikki. Let me talk about the sad news before I go any further. I woke up to comments with people saying all RVs are junk. We were dreaming about RV life, but not anymore. We will never buy an RV. Well, that makes me sad, and they're saying that they're getting this kind of message from watching my channel, and that is not the point of this channel at all, to stop you from buying RVs. This channel is here to educate you about which RVs to buy and which ones to avoid, because there really are certain brands and certain years that are sketchy, that are ones that you want to avoid. For example, the RV industry is dominated by 3 brands. That's Forest River, Thor, and Winnebago. Forest River leads the pack in number of safety recalls, Better Business Bureau complaints, and lawsuits. However, I own a Forest River. Mine is a 2017. They built much better quality back then. I would buy any 2017, 2018 Forest River, but I would not buy a new one. So yes, Forest River is on my recommend list for used, but not for new. If buying new, there are over 100 different brands building good quality. These are independent RV makers, and you will not see them featured on this channel in a nightmare. I'm talking Oliver, Bigfoot, Escape, Pleasureway, and many more. Like I said, 100 brands. You'll find which RVs you can trust in my RV buying guide, which covers over 200 brands. And this includes legacy brands that are no longer in business. I'm talking Country Coach and Lazy Days. This book was crowdsourced by you, my audience, by surveying you and asking you what works, what doesn't. If you have purchased the RV Buyer's Guide, I want to let you know that the update is out now. That adds over 30 brands, and you, if you've already purchased the RV Buyer's Guide, you can get that update for free. And if you have not purchased the RV Buyer's Guide, you can get it now for a limited time only at 25% off.
My concern is I think there's other Newmars out there, or all of the Newmars out there on Spartan chassis don't have any full VIN. And the last 5 digits is not compliant, as far as I know, because that's the information I got from the NHTSA inspector verbally.
4 weeks ago, I brought you the story of Brian and Jennifer, who are facing a $660,000 fine for not having the correct VIN badging on their motorhome. They paid well over $1 million for their Newmar motorhome when it was new. They enjoyed it for a few years. Then they found a buyer in the U.S., and they got stopped at the border when trying to import it to the U.S. However, their motorhome was seized at the border. A NHTSA agent looked at other Newmars at a local dealer lot and found out that those were out of compliance too.
Why does the government insist that we put VINs on our vehicle? Well, it's to prevent fraud, because somebody could just take this vehicle. They could literally come pick up my vehicle and re-VIN it with no issues. Well, that's how theft occurs. I could announce to the world, come steal this RV, because you could just re-VIN it without any problems. And this is why the laws are there, is to prevent fraud and theft. If somebody gets into an accident, I don't have any VIN on this vehicle.
Despite me making 2 videos about this case, which could potentially affect thousands of Newmar owners, Newmar has continued to push back and insist that they are in compliance. Yet they've not contacted Brian and Jennifer to see how they can help. They have not gone out to look at their motorhome to see for themselves that the VIN badging is not in compliance. In fact, it is missing entirely from the exterior of their motorhome. So Brian has no choice but to take legal action. I will keep you updated as the case progresses. Meanwhile, I have to wonder, and I have to ask you, don't you think that since NHTSA saw that there were other Newmar motorhomes that were also out of compliance, and because it's the manufacturer's responsibility to take care of the VIN, don't you think this $660,000 fine should be directed at Newmar, not Brian and Jennifer? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And like I said, I will definitely keep you updated on this case.
At this point, give me my money back for the RV and give me a tent.
2 weeks ago, Frank shared his story of buying a toy hauler that turned out to be a lemon. Something broke every time he used it. The level system broke, and his bunk beds collapsed from the ceiling the first time he drove it. So Camping World agreed to pay the bulk of a buyback. He paid $85,000 for his toy hauler. Camping World agreed to refund $64,000. We just needed to have Forest River come in and pay the difference. After all, they made the RV, so they definitely have some responsibility here. But unfortunately, Forest River tricked Frank. They said that they needed to have the fifth wheel back at the factory to look at it. Well, then, against Frank's wishes, they started repairing his toy hauler. So, since the video has come out, Forest River has still not responded. If you think Frank deserves a buyback, let me know in the comments. Let's keep the pressure on Forest River. And thank you so much for being here. You're the ones that make this channel so powerful, that have been able to get so many results. Like I said, over $2 million in buybacks. That's all thanks to you. And I will see you in the next video.